Number 1. The speaker introduced the new course, Introduction to Economics. First, he announced the textbook for the course, Economics for the New Millennium, was available at the university bookstore. The price was a bit steep, but he thought it was well worth it. And then he suggested to bring their books to the next class. Finally, he announced that there would be 2 exams, a midterm and a final, and they would write several short research papers each 2 weeks. Number 2. The speaker reminded his employee to notice their new return policy. First, they shouldn't accept any returns from customers without a dated receipt and in good conditions, because they had had problems in the past with customers returning damaged goods. Then he reminded that they issued store credit, not cash, for returns. Finally, he asked them to tell him if they received complaints about that. Number 3. The speaker introduced about the office, and he suggested if it was an emergency, then hang up and call an ambulance. If they would like to make an appointment or ask for medical advice, then call back during their regular office hours. They were opened from 10 to 6 Monday through Friday, and from 9 to 12 on the first Saturday of each month. He reminded that they needed to make an appointment because they didn't accept walk-ins. Number 4. The speaker announced to the flight attendants, first, remind the passengers that they could be landing shortly, and check to make sure all seat belts were fastened, and asked the passenger to turn off all cell phones and recording device. Finally, find out if there were anyone with small children requiring extra assistance, or if anyone needed help getting to the connecting flight. Number 5. The speaker introduced about public service announcement brought by Radio XYZ. Because of the drought, the government officials were asking all city residents to conserve water. Residents were asked not to fill their swimming pools and water their gardens until further notice. Right then, the government were asking residents to do this on a voluntary basis. Although if the situation became severe, it was possible that fines would be imposed. Finally, he suggested staying tuned to Radio XYZ for all the latest updates. Number 6. The speaker introduced about the city hotlines. First, for theater schedules and ticket orders, press 1. For museum information, including information on special exhibits, the lecture series at the Art Museum, and the Foreign Films series at the History Museum, press 2. To hear about upcoming sports events at the City Stadium, press 3. To speak to an operator, please stay on the line. Number 7. The speaker announced that the History Museum was their last stop that day. He would spend 2 hours there. Recorded tours were available at the front desk for a small fee. Then he said he had free informational brochures about the permanent exhibits for anyone who was interested. Then he reminded they were asked to return to the bus no later than 5:30. The bus would take them to the hotel, where they would enjoy dinner at an evening program. Number 8. The speaker announced that they had heavy traffic that morning because of the car breakdown on Route 1 near the airport. He suggested avoid Route 1 if at all possible and be prepared for a long time. Slow drive to work that morning. Finally, he advised them take the bus or subway if they could. Number 9. The speaker introduced about graduates of the Computer Technology Institute. They were highly trained and skilled technicians able to handle all the routine technical problems. All institute graduates were eligible to become certified computer technicians. Number 10, the speaker introduced about how to buy a house. The first step was obtaining a loan from the bank. They would need to get the necessary paperwork from the bank officer to apply for a home mortgage. Finally, they would have to have proof of their income and financial assets because that would help the officer determine how large a loan they qualify for.